Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failure. When we left off in the last video, I got right here and got to a place where I discovered I had the Purple Nines glitch, which meant that I only had these gang members wearing red and none of these gang members wearing purple. So I had to start the entire game over from scratch after deleting my save files from the Steam folder that they were located in. I made a video, it's the second video in this whole series of how you can start a new game and check whether or not you have the Purple Nines glitch and how to fix it if you do. So hopefully you watched that video and you didn't get here and discover that you have no Purple Nines. I played the whole game again, actually did use some glitches to make, which ones? Vigilante and Firefighter quicker. So that was cool, but the rest of the game played normally. It went pretty well during Paramedic. I was halfway through the final level, which is level 12, when I got an unhandled exception error and had to do all 12 levels again for Paramedic. That was kind of annoying. But in any event, we've got the Purple Nines here, which is cool and allows us to continue. Again, without the purple gang members here, it is impossible to complete this very first red phone mission, which makes it impossible to get 100% in the game. So let us proceed. So you'll notice that we have our Bulletproof Patriot here. It's a different color than in the last video because this is a different game. Also, you'll probably notice that the money was different, the starting time was different, lots of stuff is different, but I'm here and you're here, we're the same, and we're going to proceed. So let's proceed. So the premise here is that you have a certain amount of time to, let's say, 2.5 minutes to do drive-bys on 20 of these Purple Nines. So they live, or they walk around everywhere here. You can shoot the red guys, but that doesn't help you at all. It doesn't count. It's only the purple guys that counts. So you just do drive-bys. We've done lots of drive-bys before, focusing on the red guys, but as you shoot, focusing on the purple guys, ignoring the red guys. But as you shoot, the purple guys and the red guys will start fighting back, which is just downright rude. Also, you'll get harassed by these rumpos here. So the reason that I like this Bulletproof Patriot for this particular mission and for nothing else, because we did work to preserve this Patriot and get it over here to the third island, is that you get shot at a lot in this particular mission. And so in a typical, regular, not bulletproof car, probably your car is going to blow up. It'll catch on fire because you're taking so much damage from bullets. But here, we don't have that issue. So you can see this is pretty straightforward if you just kind of calmly drive around. One thing to worry about, though, is that there is water nearby, and you could get knocked into the water by one of those angry vans chasing after you, one of the gang vans. But in this case, no problems. So we move merrily along to the next hidden package, which is right up here. You can park your Bulletproof Patriot in the garage if you want to use it for later. That doesn't take that much time to do, but that Bulletproof Patriot is of no use to me anymore. So I'm just going to leave it there and abandon it. Sorry, buddy. You served your purpose. Okay, next up is the fourth and final RC Toys, mission. And the idea here is that we need to blow up at least one of the Rumpo gang cars. So I don't know if this thing exists in some fixed location somewhere around here, but we just drive until we see a Rumpo. Remember, the Rumpo is the one with the window in the rear, in the rump, just like that vehicle right there. So you drive and you blow it up and you move on. So you can do as many as you want in the 2 minutes. You just need to get at least one. I'm just going to do one and call that one done. For the next minute and 19 seconds, I guess we're just here entertaining ourselves. All right, I can't do that to you. I guess we got to drive around. Maybe we can cause some mayhem. You look like you want to explode. So one thing that struck me about the GTA games is how violent they were, and obviously this is part of the controversy from the beginning, but I'll tell you my experience here. So I played when I was back in the late 80s, early 90s, played a bunch of NES games, and then a little bit of SNES, but I didn't have an SNES, so it was mostly NES games in my youth. And then I really didn't graduate to any other more advanced consoles. Like I pretty much only played the NES. Say from like 1990 until I don't know, like 2013, something like that. And then I got a Kindle Fire for various purposes. That's a small tablet, like a little touchscreen type console. And I was able to buy GTA Vice City on that Kindle Fire. It was on sale. I don't know how I discovered it. I don't even think I was looking for it. Um, but but that was my first experience with GTA, and really my first experience with any kind of a new game, a new video game in a bunch of years, like 25 years. Um, and so I was really struck by how violent. I mean, I thought it was just hilarious, but I was struck by how violent Vice City was, with the blood and the gore and the limbs flying. But that's part of the charm of GTA. Okay, so we finished Rumpo Rampage. Again, you just need to do at least one, no more than that, and you'll still pass. Okay, so we're going to do an import-export thing. So we're going to grab this, whatchamacallit, Banshee right here, and we're going to bring it to the import-export garage where we dropped off the BF injection. Also note that there's a fixed stallion here, so if you have trouble finding a stallion in the wild, then you can come back and grab this. Now, you shouldn't have any trouble because those cars are really common. In fact, just about all the cars we need to drop off in the third import-export garage are common, but in the beginning of learning this game, you might not know what the cars look like, and that takes some time to learn the characteristics of these cars, and it can be frustrating to just kind of drive around all over the place trying to find the cars that you don't quite know what they look like. So we're going to do this Banshee, and then I think I'm going to do the rest of the import-export garage here in this video. Okay, so we drop off the Banshee thusly, and we jump out, and then we push the minus button to indicate that step is done. So there's the list. The Sentinel and the Cheetah are going to be, we're going to grab them from fixed locations. I think everything else we're supposed to find in the wild. Now, just like before, you can take a look at that shared Google Doc that's linked in the description. In order to find the complete list of all the vehicles that we need to grab and deposit here in this import-export garage. And so there's a Kuruma right there. Here's a Stallion. We need both of those, so I can just grab them right now. Notice that it's quite common to get a wanted star here because you're doing a lot of stealing. In this case, there was a police officer right there. Hello, sir. And so what I'm going to do is kind of run away, and as I'm running away, I will note that I've got my little piece of paper and a pencil here, and we just dropped off something. I think that was a Kuruma, and I'm literally checking off the Kuruma from my list. Now we also need this vehicle here. This is a taxi, and like I said, you can find just about all of the required vehicles right here in front of the import-export garage, which is pretty convenient. So we check off the taxi right there. Still got a wanted star, so I'm still a little bit being careful in case there are police officers nearby. So this is a cabbie, different from the taxi. That goes right in there. Now I'm checking off the cabbie. There's it right there, checking off the cabbie and getting beat up by this person who doesn't like that I took his cabbie. So you shoot him once in the face and he goes away. So you'll notice that I've got my Kuruma, that blue car right there, kind of blocking traffic, and that is, oh, this is a Ballista. My bad, I thought I was putting a Landstalker, and that was silly. So blocking traffic is good because then the cars kind of pile up and you can sort of take them at will. So I'm just looking to see if anything else interesting shows up. I guess this one up here is one that I need. So we'll take this one. All right, so we did eventually despawn that Kuruma that was there. It happens. But note that there's a link in the description to this video to a website which shows you all the different pictures of all the different vehicles that you need to get, and so that will be helpful to you as you learn what these things look like. So I grabbed the Esperanto. I'll check that one off. And then we'll take this Idaho right here. Sometimes I have trouble distinguishing Idahos from Stallions. That one is tricky for me. There's a manana right there. So again, just having a vehicle stopped there, like that Blista that I parked, is helpful. Oh my gosh, I think I'm going to get run over here. Please get off me. Okay. Um, we're checking off, what did we just put in? Put in an Idaho. We're going to grab this manana. There's a Landstalker right there. So you can see that many of these vehicles are just ready, ripe for the taking right here. Okay, so we check off the manana. Check. Are we getting harassed here? Oh, this is like a double carjacking. That guy right there was having a bad day, the owner of this vehicle. Oh man, the carjacker's mad at me and the owner is mad at me. Come on, get out of here. All right, so we checked off the Landstalker here, and I'm just looking to see if there's any other cars in this beautiful pileup that I need. I don't think so. So I'm just going to take this vehicle right here, and I will show you a couple of cars that are in fixed locations. Like I said, most of these cars are just commonly available as you drive very close to that import-export garage. The least common one in my experience is the stretch. So if I see a stretch, I just grab it right away. But a bunch of sports cars are required, and we're passing them here. So if I were actually playing this for like speed, I would stop and grab them. There's a stretch right over there, the limousine. But oh my goodness, I'm getting shot up. But for the purposes of this video, I just want to show. Actually, I'm getting confused. Do I need this cheetah right now? Yeah, all right. So this cheetah is fixed at this mansion right here, a little bit north of the super curvy road that we just came up. Now, the cheetah is very common, so you don't need to go out of your way. Like driving up to that mansion is like farther than I typically have to go to get a cheetah. Usually you see it in the wild. Another stretch there. But just for the purposes of this video, I wanted to show you the fixed locations of some of the cars that are required here. So we throw the cheetah in there. I'll also point out that in that shared Google Doc with the list of all the import-export vehicles, that some of them have little descriptions right next to them. The cheetah says, like MANS next to it. That means it's at one of those mansions there. Okay, so I'm looking at my list. I need a perennial, a stallion, and a stretch. Did I not get a stallion already? As I was talking, I might not have been checking things off diligently. No, I got a stallion already. Check. All right, let's actually look at the list up here. All right, so we need the Sentinel and the Infernus. We're going to get those in fixed locations: Karuma, Stretch, Perennial, and Stinger. Karuma. Oh, I never did the Karuma. Oh, that might have been the one that I lost before, but I checked it off. This is high quality content here, folks. Okay, Karuma, Perennial, Stretch, and Stinger. So the Stinger we're going to get in a fixed location, so we're not worried about that one right now. So we're actually just down to the Karuma, the Perennial, and the Stretch. So again, all of these are quite common except for the Stretch. There's a Perennial right there. Can I have that, please? All right, so the Perennial is this station wagon looking thing. Very common. So we'll throw that in there and hop out. Okay, so checking off the Perennial, so we just need the Karuma and the Stretch. Karuma, very common. Stretch, not as common. But just for the purposes of this video, we're going to show you where some of these vehicles are located in case you're having trouble finding them in the wild. Okay, so first of all, there is a Landstalker. That's the vehicle I'm in. Really common, but there is a fixed one in one of these mansions over here on our left. I rarely use it for that purpose, so I don't actually know which one of these it's in. Let's see, that's not it. How about this next one up here? All right, there it is right there. So fixed Landstalker. If you're having any trouble getting it or you just want to take the short trip to the mansion from the import-export garage, you can find the Landstalker there. And I mentioned to you that the Stallion was down there on the curvy road. And then there are some vehicles at the airport. I wonder if I should make the trip over there. I guess I can. Yeah, there are a few vehicles at the airport, two of which we're going to grab en route. But before I make the trip to the airport, we're going to grab the Stretch, this limousine thing here. And the stretch takes a long time to accelerate, so if you have a wanted star, just be on the lookout. And if there's a police officer near you looking to take you out of the car and bust you, then get out of the stretch ASAP and figure things out. Getting busted is bad, bad, bad. Okay, so the stretch is done, and on my list, on my paper, it's just the Kuruma I need. The Sentinel and the Stinger and the Infernus are all, whatchamacallit, en route. So I'm just looking for a Kuruma. Again, it's a very common vehicle. In fact, I think it's right there. So let's grab this Kuruma, and then we're going to be done with this. All right, so that guy wanted his car back, and I couldn't have that. I've got percentages to gather and increase. Okay, Kuruma is done, and I think that is it for this. So then I would slash on my little timing program to indicate that I've finished collecting all the vehicles. If I wanted to if I wanted to get all these vehicles, if I wanted to speed run this game, like if I were actually trying to get a good time here and not making a commentary video, then I wouldn't have gathered all of the vehicles at that moment. I would have just gathered the ones that happened to be in front of the import-export garage at that exact moment. Maybe I gather one vehicle, maybe I gather 5 vehicles, maybe I gather no vehicles. But then as soon as I run out of vehicles to gather, that are just readily available right there in front of the IE garage, I would have moved on to the next step. And there's a couple of other moments coming up later in the route where you have opportunities to do more IE garaging at that particular garage, and then one final place where you have to get everything that you haven't gotten yet. Okay, so I came over to the airport here just because I wanted to illustrate that there are a number of vehicles here in this airport parking lot. So there's a Landstalker that's part of our collection. We don't need the Ballista. This is a Stallion right here, so you can grab that. If you're just having trouble finding these vehicles out in the wild, there's a Manana. That's one of the ones we need. What is this one here? I think that's an Esperanto. We need that one. So if there's a taxi, we need that one. So the airport it's a bit of a hike. And so I never come down here anymore, but I used to when I didn't know what the vehicles looked like, and that was quite frustrating. Okay, but there's 2 other vehicles that I haven't talked about. The sports car one, that's the Infernus, and then the Sentinel. We're actually going to grab both of those from the airport, and those are routed in. So we'll come back and do those later. But for right now, I'm going to drive back to where we were. Just wanted to show you the fixed locations of a bunch of these vehicles before proceeding with the route. So let's head back up to that import-export garage and move on to the next part of this video. Actually, I think I'm going to get to the next starting spot and then end this video. That's a good place to stop, I think, but I'll just show you how to get there. So typically, we would have been at this import-export garage right here. We would have finished, some of them, all of them, whatever we wanted to do at this moment. We'd take some random vehicle off the street and steal it and head left here at this major artery. And we're going to go just past the squiggly road. So the squiggly road is coming up here on the right, and we're going into the next area, the next house, just up here on the left. And this is where we will pick up in our next video. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.